Good morning, Oracles. Oracle Tim here. My goodness, what a day yesterday. Tesla up 4.77%, closing over $950 on the Fed news that we got. Interest rates went up 50 basis points, potentially 50 basis point hikes for the next two meetings, but a confirmation that at least as of right now, the Fed will not do a 75 basis point hike. The market loved that. Tesla loved that, and we took off to the races. Before we get started with the news, I wanted to correct something I had said yesterday. Yesterday I had mentioned that Tesla Shanghai is back up to 80% production rate. However, after watching Rob Maurer over on Tesla Daily, he had done a little digger deeping with some of the subscribers that he has over in China. And it sounds like, based on the translation, it's more like 80% of the employees are back to work, or 80% of the businesses are back up and running. So not necessarily 80% back in production. So I apologize for that. They may very well be at that rate, but that is not the news that was actually out there. So that was incorrect on my part, and I apologize for that. But we did hear yesterday about Shanghai with the new factory that is going to be opening up, and they're going to be starting to build on that soon. Now, I also heard on Twitter yesterday from Ross Gerber talking about how the next two factories that are coming are going to be Shanghai and Austin. And he said he is expecting that we will be hearing a formal announcement of these very soon. So we heard about Shanghai. So it wasn't a formal announcement, but I think we will get that formal announcement very soon. And then Austin. Now this does make perfect sense. You know, Shanghai is going to be the major export hub for Tesla. And that's going to be huge. And then Austin, we know that next year, if they're going to be starting volume production on the Cybertruck, they're going to need a factory to get that up and running, and then also continue to build the Model Y there. And then don't forget, they're also going to be looking to build the Roadster, which we don't know if that's coming out of Austin or if it's going to come from Fremont. And then we have the robo-taxis coming in 2024. So perhaps this new factory coming up in Austin is going to be Cybertruck and robo-taxi. So again, hopefully we'll find out all this information with the formal announcement when they come out with it. But Ross Gerber kind of giving us this little leak. You know, he knows some people in some places. So it'll be interesting to see these two. And when we're talking about Elon's master plan part 3 and getting to mass scale, the only way they can get to mass scale is having mass factory production. And if the factory is the product, they're going to be mass producing that product. So we are probably going to see quite a few factories popping up over the next couple of years. I look at Amazon right now. In my line of work, I do construction retail, and we are supplying 2 Amazon warehouses that are going up right now. And honestly, what I have heard from them is once they are built, they are locking the doors for 2 years and not even using them. A lot of these companies were extremely smart over the last 2 years. When you've got interest rates at nearly zero, that is almost free money that you can borrow. And so these companies are doing this, building up all of these buildings, warehouses, factories that they can, just because they know that it's basically free money, and they'll just use them later on down the line. I have no doubt that Tesla did the same thing. They probably secured a whole lot of funding with zero interest rates or very low interest rates to begin building all of these factories. And they'll start pumping these factories out very quickly. So we're seeing it happen with all the solar stuff, with all the battery supplies and the mega packs. Those things are just popping up like wildfire without anybody even noticing them. And so now we're going to have factories coming up in Shanghai, another one coming up in Austin, and I would have no doubt that we'll probably hear about 2 more new factories somewhere else in the world by the end of this year. And I'm going to call it right now. We can set this as your calendar date and we'll test me on it in the future. But I can see that by 2024, Tesla will have doubled their factories from right now. So they'll have 8 factories in 2024 and triple them by 2025 and have 12 factories up and running by 2025. Because if they get that all up and running, that is going to be the absolute base foundation that they are going to need to get themselves to 20 million vehicles produced by 2030. And this leads me to the risk reward when it comes to Tesla. And a lot of times the risk reward is, how much do you believe in the company and their ability to take us to where they are saying we are going? And what I mean by this is, if you believe that Tesla is going to get us to the point where we're going to have 20 million vehicles produced in 2030, if they're going to have FSD solved, we're going to have robo-taxis on the road, you are willing to take that risk right now because the reward will be massive in the future. Those of you who are longtime shareholders know this. You took that risk 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago because you had that belief. You took that risk and you're now reaping the rewards from it. So if you believe that Tesla can continue this pattern going forward, then investing now will reap huge benefits for you in the future. And many a time when it comes to Tesla investors, it is based off of what they believe the company can actually achieve over the next 10 years. You know, when it comes to EV production, do they believe that FSD is going to actually happen? Do they believe that the energy S-curve is really going to take off? Do they believe that robo-taxis are really going to become a thing? Do they believe that Optimus is going to be a larger total addressable market and actually a reality for the company in the future? And when you talk to an investor, I can almost guarantee every time the level of dedication in their portfolio is strictly based off of how many of those things that they believe Tesla is going to achieve in the next decade. So it really comes down to what is your level of belief? And if you truly believe that they're going to get there, those of you who are 100% all in on Tesla are on that level of you believe we are going to get there. And then there's just the ranges in between. And right now my goal for my portfolio is 69% Tesla. So I believe 69% of this and we are going to get there. And I'm sure that conviction will change to even higher over time the more I see us going. I do just still like to diversify. That's just my thing. But very confident about the future for Tesla. Just every single day that goes by, I see more and more of the potential that is out there. I see more and more about how legacy and startups are struggling to get through, and so competition isn't going to be as fierce as anybody thinks that it's going to be. And we are just going to keep plowing forward with really nothing slowing us down. Let me know in the comments below, how much belief do you have in Tesla going forward? And how many factories do you think that Tesla is going to be announcing this year? How many factories do you think that Tesla is going to have by 2024? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.